Hi everyone, how's it going? It's me, Ursula. Thank you for joining me today. So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, how does an artist paint with wild colors? Like, how does an artist use color in an imaginary way where, for example, maybe they paint a blue portrait with lavender highlights, or a landscape with a yellow or a green sky? How does one do that, really? And I want to try to address that and leave you with a little assignment, a little project that you might try at home. The most important thing to think about if you're going to try to do this is value. And value means the lightness and the darkness of something. So this is a value scale, roughly. The printer wasn't great with this, but you can see this is the lightest going into darker, darker, darker values. So when I say value, I mean the lightness and the darkness of something. So you need to get the value correct in a painting, and then the color you can be a little more exploratory with the color as long as you get that value correct. So I think the best way to try this out at home is to take a black and white photograph, a black and white image, whatever it is you're working from, black and white, get the color out of it. So it's just grayscale. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna paint this on your own, and you're gonna just make up the colors. Because, I mean, I can look at this and I can assume that's probably a white cup, but maybe I want to paint it so it's a pink cup or a purple cup or some kind of weird cup. The best way to start, if this is new to you as a concept, is to just look at those values and make up the colors yourself. So I painted here somewhat of a monochromatic painting of this cup. I interpreted it myself. I made it a white cup. I used some browns and yellows in it. I'm going to try a new painting. And to start with, I'm just going to use some purple and white. And then from there, I'm going to add other colors. And hopefully this will give you an idea of how you might try to do something like this at home. And I'm going to just loosely begin to block in the darks and the lights of this image. So the darkest part we can see is here in the coffee cup, and probably down here in the shadow. So this is a really good start to just take a color. You could try this doing green or even yellow or orange, red, any color you wish, blue. And just by starting that process, you're already beginning to work outside of the normal colors. So it's just a very, very loose interpretation here. I'm going to add 2 more colors to my palette now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some blue, some ultramarine blue. I'm going to add a green, phthalo green. And actually, I'll go ahead and add a yellow and cadmium red. So this is the palette that I'm working with now, but you could add whatever colors you like. A blue, a yellow, a red, whatever you wish. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to block in some of these tones just using some wilder colors. This phthalo green is really wonderful when you add white to it and yellow. It makes a really interesting, like really bright, poppy, pale green. I'm going to use that for some of the lighter parts of the cup because it's so punchy. I'm going to use that for the highlights. Maybe I'll add a touch more of yellow to it to make it even brighter, and use that in some of these places in the saucer. So what I'm trying to do is where there are light values in the picture is where I'm going to use the brighter, warmer, and more saturated colors. And where there are dark areas is where I'm going to use possibly the darker, cooler colors. I'm also working very loosely. I'm working with what's called broken color. Broken color is when you have different striations in a brush stroke. So for example, that's a good example of broken color, where there are these different lines of color in each brush stroke. So in order to keep the colors bright and fresh, don't labor over it on the canvas. Don't overmix on the canvas. Keep your brush marks fresh. We see color based on the colors around it. So we tend to see colors in terms of relationships more than just a single color. When I add this yellow to this painting, it makes the green of the cup pop a little bit more. So this is a good start to put this theory or this practice into play. Try working from a black and white photograph and just interpreting it with some wild color on your own. Don't worry if it turns out looking weird. That's okay. Try it again and again. Try another one. Let's do another one. And just try to let your brain go out there and think outside of the box. So I hope this gives you a jumping off point to apply wild color to your paintings. Just remember, try to keep those values correct. If you can get those values right, the color can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to do a self-portrait using this concept of wild color. I'm going to start with green. I love this phthalo green. It's a really bright, punchy green. So I'm going to start with that. So on one side of my face, just very slightly here, because the light's coming in through the window, this is a little bit lighter than this side. So I'm going to use a brighter, warmer color here and a slightly cooler color here. I'm going to go around the whole painting now, and I'm going to put some dark values in. I'm adding red for the highlights in the hair. I'm going to put one little highlight on the nose, and I'm going to just call this done for now. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this demo, and I hope you're able to try some of these things at home using wild color. Till next time, bye.